How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Look at that, boys. We got some snow today, or I guess it came last night. So I'm gonna go start the tractor. You can see it in there. And we're gonna go do a little plowing. So we're gonna start up the old girl here. I like to wiggle the throttle a little bit, then put some glow plugs on. Leave the glow plugs on for about 10-15 seconds. Then I make sure that the transmission's in neutral and that the PTOs are in neutral. And they are, so let's go. A little more glowing. I like it. We're going to let this warm up a little bit, and then we're going to go do some plowing. Okay, so we're just getting started up here in the shelter and making sure all the systems are go. I raised the rear point, the rear snowblower on the rear, and then lift the blade and run her back and forth, make sure everything's kosher. And we head out. Now, leaving the shelter, I have to be careful because my door doesn't quite open as maybe fully as it should, so I just barely fit out through the opening, but I take my time going through there. Hey, nice Bronco, eh? So we're just going to push some snow over here beside the Bronco. First couple of passes I make coming out of the shelter are just to clean up in front of the shelter, clean the snow in front of the shelter, and of course while I'm cleaning there I may as well just push it across the yard, right? So that's what I do. So we're backing up now, going back in the shelter, because what I do usually, I make 3 trips coming out of the shelter. One goes down the middle and then one down each side. So squeezing back in here. The shelter's a great spot for the tractor, but it just barely fits. Now see this cord up in the top right hand side of the screen there? I have to make sure that doesn't get hooked up in my light, so I just stop and clear that. And then as I inch over here towards the shed on the side of the shop, I have to be careful that the snowblower doesn't hit the back of the edge of the snowblower doesn't hit the shelter, so that's a little bit of finesse that has to be done there too. Anyway, then I make another cut through here. When I'm plowing this way, I angle the blade right down. The blade is angled to the right. You can't see it. I apologize for this camera angle that I have, but I only had the one camera with me today, so I set it up in the cab. I thought that might make a better viewpoint. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so now I'm trying to back into the shelter again and kind of cozy up to the left-hand side of the shelter, because now I have to go out and plow the left-hand side. So again, my cord here on the top left is almost ready to catch on the light. So I stop and open the door to make sure that that's clear, and then away I go. I'm going to make a hard left here and go down alongside the sugar shack and the woodshed. Plow the snow off this area back here by where the fire pit is. And it's different with no trees. I wish I still had my trees, but I guess I'll never see those again. What a difference. And when the wind blows, man, it just howls across the lake there. Anyway, still nice, but not nearly what it was. Okay, so now I'm back in the shelter once more. I guess I said I made 3 trips, but actually I'm going to make 4, because I do one down the middle, and one down the right, one down the left, and then I come back in and go down the middle again, clean up the windrow that I made. I don't have my wings on the blade today. I was plowing with the wings the other day and I broke one. So I have a video coming out about how I broke it, why I broke it, and what I discovered because I broke it. And then I'm going to make a version 3 of my snow pusher mod. So that video will be coming out next week probably. So just a few little passes here, quick passes just to clean up by the fire pit a little bit. I'll come back and tidy that up later on, but for now just more or less making a spot here so I can have some room to maneuver the tractor. I don't like driving the tractor over unplowed snow, so that's why I like to clear my spot so I can turn the tractor on the plow. So I'm making a pass up here just in front of the shop. I like to go as close as I can to the doors and the bench there. just so that I have less snow to have to shovel when I finish plowing. It wasn't all that cold here today when I was plowing. It was only probably might have been -4 when I was plowing right here, but the snow was nice and dry and fluffy, so it was easy plowing. It was good going as far as the plowing is concerned. And again, this view from the camera, it's a nice view because you get to see what I see in the cab, but you really can't see the action of plowing. I guess you've seen snow rolling off a blade before, right? So now we're getting ready to go down. I'm going to angle it, as I get close to this bank, I'm going to angle the plow to the right, and then we're going to make a turn here, quick little jig, and then we're going to go right out the lane with this next shot. Down here. See that big lump right there? That's a big rock. You get that with the blade, hopefully push it off. Watch this. Boink, there. See that little bump? I just went over it. I think I get it with the next pass though. So, there's a big tree right there coming up on the right, and I just like to get as close to that as I can, but I don't want it to hit the cab, so I get pretty close. Haven't hit it yet, so I'm doing okay. Okay, we're coming up on the road. I don't often show this part because I always had the camera set up on the tripod and I set it up back in the landing, but out here on the road, I do a lot of plowing at the road site, just to try to keep the end of where I plow clear. I don't like to plow snow and leave ridges on the road from plowing out my lane, so I like to keep that clear. I see our neighbor Jamie, he was out plowing early this morning, and he's got the road all plowed nice for us, so that's great. Jamie does a great job plowing. He was plowing today with his ATV too, so even better for Jamie for doing that. Plowing on the ATV is no fun, because you're out in the weather for sure, but it works. It's quicker than plowing with a tractor. I used to plow with the ATV, plow the road with the ATV. When I first came to the lake, we used to plow the road, the neighbor and I plow the road on the ATVs, but I only did that one winter and decided it's time to get a tractor with a cab. So right here what I'm doing is I'm just plowing the snow off at the end of our lane, and I don't like I say, I don't like to leave ridges on the road, so I'm plowing in front of my driveway and pushing the snow into the snowbank just to make sure it's good and clear. That gives, that's good for us too when we're coming out of the driveway and on the lane. There's no ridges there to hold us up. We can just shoot across the lane and out the road and do it. So I plow first off to the left. Now I'm just clearing up a little bit here on the right hand side. I don't like to push too much into the right hand side because I end up pushing gravel in there, and we do have a little bit of grass growing here by our signpost, so I don't like to push the gravel into that too much, but I end up having to push gravel in there. There's no way I can get away without doing it, I guess. So anyway, try to push as little as possible. So now I'm just clearing up here at the as the lane widens out there at the road. And now we're going to make a pass down. No, we're going to clear. Sorry, going to clear on the left-hand side of the lane coming out. Clear that away to make sure that I can see good coming up the road. So we just push that back over the bank. A couple of pushes into there. And that more or less clears that off. And then I can get squared away and go down the lane. And you notice the way I plow my lane, I plow the first cuts are right down the edges to plow off to over the snowbank, and I leave the center, and then I'll come back and do the center, and then I'll go to the edges again. And the reason I do that is because if I plowed the center first, I'd have a whole pile of snow then to try to get over the snowbank, whereas this way I just have, like, this is a blade full of snow that will be pushed over the snowbank, and then the next pass is only half a blade because it's already been plowed once. So it makes it easier to keep the lane wide and keep the snowbanks a decent size. So that's why I go down the edges and then the middle and then do the edges again. So usually to plow my lane, it's like one trip out, one trip back doing the edges, then one trip out, one trip back doing the center, and one trip out, one trip back doing the edges again. Found that worked the best. So now we're back and we're going to make another pass through the landing, and then we're going to go down the middle of the lane this is the second trip out, and I'm plowing off the center. I found if I didn't plow my lane this way, then by the end of the winter, depending on how much snow we had, of course, but by the end of the winter, the lane would get narrow, and then I'd have to go and do like jigging back and forth, pushing the snowbanks away. I didn't like that. This seemed to work better for me, so that's why I do it. At the end of the lane, I just turn and push that snow into the bank, and then we go down the center on the way back in again. So this is my second trip in, plowing off the center. This time I'm going to go right down. I'm not going to turn off to the right. We're going to keep going straight, plow across the lane and down in by the fire pit. Keep one long push here. Alright, so I just finished pushing that down in by the access point to the lake. I like to clear that in case we want to make access to the lake, because when the kids go out sometimes they go coasting, and it's good to be able to get access down that way. And years ago we used to go down the lake and go skating, so we never know, the grandkids may be out again sometime to go skating, so keep that open just in case. Alright, so we're trying to get squared away up here and lined up to make another cut. So we're going to go out this time, and I'm going to go down the right hand side of the lane to finish clearing off the windrow base and down the middle. So as I was explaining, this is the technique I use to keep the driveway as wide as I can throughout the winter. I guess that rock is still there. Watch out for that tree. Oh yeah, no problem. So as I come up on the road now, this snow that I'm plowing off the right hand side, I'll just turn hard right and go along the edge of the snowbank and push that into the snowbank. That way it keeps the road nice and clean too, right? So that's why I like to do that. You know, as you plow, you develop these little techniques. You know, everybody will have their own technique for doing what they do and how they do it and why they do it. But, you know, that's just what happens when you plow, I guess. So now we're coming back in, cleaning up the left-hand side of the driveway. This is the third trip in, so this will be the last go of cleaning the lane off. So after this trip is finished, the lane will be plowed. It's good fun plowing. I like to plow. Sometimes you have trouble plowing, like the snow will be wet, heavy, or you know, maybe icy, or you know, it's just not rolling off the blade right, kind of aggravating. But most times it's good for plowing. Today the snow is really good for plowing. It's not sticky, it's not really fluffy either, so it plows nice. It goes where you push it and stays there. And for the most part, it's not even sticking to the blade, so that's good. Since I leave my tractor in the shelter, the blade stays cold, so oftentimes the snow doesn't melt it or stick to it. So we're just going to back the tractor in the shelter, set her down, shut down all systems. So that's good. Have a good day plowing. I like it. So we finished up plowing. Worked pretty good. I only had one wing today because I broke my other one. I've got a story and a video coming out about that, and we'll talk about those wings later. I think it's a good mod, but the original I guess, version 2 of my wing mod, snow pusher mod. Didn't work that great, but hopefully version 3 is going to be even better. So thanks for watching, folks. Sure hope you enjoyed my video about doing a little bit of plowing here this morning. We'll talk to you.